The tools exist: generative design, digital twins, bio-integrated systems. But tools without vision are nothing more than expensive toys. The magic happens when human imagination meets experiences that are yet to be defined. When we stop asking what's next and start asking what if. These are the conversations that reshape life on the water. This is Rethink's Night Out.
Thank you. There is something timeless about a yacht moving under sail. Pure wind, clean motion, and quiet power. The only soundtrack, just the ocean doing her thing. There's but a few things in the world that I actually love better than that timeless feeling of freedom. For hundreds of years, ships have navigated the seas and the oceans, powered by the wind. Very much a proven concept, I'd say. But then came engines. Faster crossings, better comfort on board, and the enjoyable joy of never missing dinner reservations again. Simple truth is, a yacht just requires energy to be autonomous, to control the climate on board, make fresh water, run the galley, to do the laundry, clean the wastewater, to power the navigation and the sailing systems. And fossil fuels have made all that possible. The amount of solar energy that is stored in diesel oil is formidable. It's absolutely massive. And there are no alternatives to date that can store energy at a density that's even close to that. The abundance of energy in fossil fuels has made it possible, if not easy, to traverse patches of light air, sometimes even hundreds of miles in diameter. Well, this is something that Zero will need to be able to do as well. And that using stored battery power. That proved one of the larger challenges of this project. So now that the fossil fuel era is coming to an end, maybe gradually, Foundation Zero aims to lead the way into a bright future without fossil fuels on board, but not without the accomplishments that we've grown so used to. So when tasked with the design or naval architecture of a yacht without a drop of fuel in her tanks, energy management was the name of the game. It all starts with the realization that energy is a scarce commodity and should be treated as such. Harvesting, conserving, storing, and managing the flow of energy has been at the core of Project Zero from the start. And a lot of that energy and effort by us was devoted into making her a good sailboat, a powerful sailboat that can sail everywhere and anywhere. The presenters after me will tell you all about all the enormous efforts that were made to increase the efficiency on board and to collect energy from the sun, and thereby increasing the time that she can fulfill her hospitality duties before the batteries would need to be replenished. We're currently at an amazing 2 full weeks of energy independence, and I think that is absolutely stunning. That's amazing. However, we would like to avoid having to charge the batteries on shore power altogether, and mid-ocean we'd simply not be able to. For that, we look at hydrogeneration. Hydrogeneration turns movement through water into power. As Zero sails, the propellers spin, creating electric energy from the flow along the hull. This was first adopted on sailboats in the 1970s, at that time by trailing a propeller on a long rope connected to a generator. And nowadays, it's used on race yachts to power the navigation systems on board. Explorers use it to go off-grid with their yachts, and super yachts use it for longer silent periods, combined with batteries, obviously. But to go entirely on stored power, Zero needed to make a leap forward in the field of hydrogeneration. Same principle, just a lot more math. From wind tunnel tests, we learned that in a fresh breeze, her sailplane can generate up to 1,500 kilowatts of power. But how much of that power would we be able to harvest, put in the batteries? Well, the main challenge there was to size the units appropriately, balancing the available power in the sails with the need for energy on board. Too small, and it would take too long to charge the batteries. Too large, and it would slow the boat down too much. So there we found that we had to combine functionalities to make that work. Our two thrusters can azimuth to serve multiple roles: propulsion, maneuvering, and hydrogeneration. Thereby we can top up the batteries in a breeze so that we can power through the light. The forward thruster sits ahead of the keel, facing forward, and to maximize the generation of energy in the accelerated flow there. The aft thruster behind is optimized to provide propulsion, and both rotate for versatility, maneuverability, and redundancy. At 16 knots of boat speed, our optimized props can generate up to 250 kilowatts of power. That is 1/6 of the total of 1,500 kilowatts that we just mentioned. But it does cost her 2 knots of boat speed. Also means that in 1 hour, we can harvest enough energy to motor sail for another 4 hours. And taking her for a spin on a breezy afternoon will give energy independence for several days in comfort. More than a yacht, she's a blueprint, a proof of what's possible when innovation meets imagination, a glimpse of how performance and sustainability can sail beautifully side by side. So now, after 6 years of research almost, we have the knowledge and the technology, and soon we'll have the data and experience to prove that and to share with the world, to power the next wave of innovation based on efficiency, not on excess. So Zero sails silently across the sea, powered by nature, leaving nothing but a wake. I think that's not just progress. I think that is the future of yachting, and we're very proud to be a part of that. Thank you very much.